It is the 5th of February. I believe we're all still here in this calendar. We're all getting all discombobulated all over the place. What do you think, Brandy? How's your Sunday going?
It started off a little funny, but it's getting better.
Well, funny looking, funny ha-ha, funny ironic. I don't know. Any of the above, right?
Yep.
Okay, what we're going to do here is we are going to, how do I get there? We are going to talk about freeing your mind a little bit here today. We did a show on chicken feed and chickens a couple of days ago. Where's the best place to probably go find that? Probably here. I think Rumble's probably the best place we can look. So we did a first part of this a couple of days ago. I don't know. We took a few days off and it messed up my schedule here. I don't know if it's up here or not. I know it's on Cloud Hub. So if we go, let me grab it from over here. We did a first show around this, is what I'm trying to say. And it is, I know it's up here. Nope, it's not here either. How about here? We only have about 85,000 places you can find something. My filing system is always so replete. Here it is, right here. This one, chicken or egg. This Bill Gates hiding in the middle of all the chickens. So that's part one. Today we're going to do part two because we need a part two on this. The plot is thickening, sort of like a good souffle. Can't make a souffle without eggs, right? Yes, Gandalph, I can't make a souffle without eggs either. Okay, let's talk about what's happening in the egg market. It's getting worse.
So a young woman on TikTok began investigating this. She thought it was very strange, right? She lives in the country. She has chickens, and her hens were not laying eggs. How bizarre. This has never happened before. She started talking to people locally, and it's the same thing. They're saying, yeah, no, they're not laying eggs. And this started around September. And so she starts to do a little bit of investigation, and she starts looking at the feed. Okay, what are we all feeding our chickens? And apparently there's not very many distributors of chicken feed. And she determines that there's two main ones. And actually she discovers that it's just one main one, and it's PURINA. PURINA is the main owner of.
Okay, PURINA, we know this name, okay? So, PURINA just makes dog food. Oh, no way. Chicken feed and cat food and everything food. What's that, studio audience? They're cattle, horses. I'm on a large animal farm out here, and I'll tell you, this stuff is everywhere. So the Consumer Federation of America, the Federal Trade Commission's involved. Early history: Nestle, Purina Pet Care continued integrating the two companies through 2002. Oh, wait a minute, Nestle, like chocolate bars. So do you think that the bad guys over here, that they are doing this just to the animals? Because they just think we're stupid animals too. We're useless eaters. Oh, my head hurts. I want to get this show done. Okay, look at this. This is A. Here's the A brands. Here's the B's and the C's and the D's and the E's and the F's. And look at this. I used to eat these things when I was younger. I eat a million Kit Kat bars. I have bought lean cuisines for other people. I've never eaten that crap. There's Nature's Bounty. Oh, that's supposed to be good for you. Oh, Nestea, the Nestle Queen Shark, known as the crunchiest wafer. Oh, you got some Nestle ice cream. You got some Perrier water. You got all the Purina brands. Look at this. Brands on a mission. 4 ways your favorite Nestle brands are tackling climate change. I want you to tackle my hunger. Climate change. So, okay, Nestle's not good. Let's keep going here. Let's let Candace give us some more truth.
Of the chicken feed that they are all feeding. She goes down and she decides to switch up the feed. She talks to somebody locally who switches the feed, and immediately the chicken begins to start laying eggs again after they were no longer given Purina feed.
After they were no longer given Purina feed, they got better. I'm sorry to do this to you, but look at all this stuff that we aren't supposed to be eating anymore. Okay, Kit Kat's one that won't give us all of them the way I want them. You won't give me one long feed. That'd be too easy. You have to keep searching. Do your own research. These are every possible place we can get to, okay? So let's finish Candace, then we're going to go listen to the lady who's been breaking this.
Or instead given some local chicken feed. Listen to this woman in her own words, because the conspiracy gets even darker from there.
Essentially, right now, nobody's chickens are laying, and there's a big conspiracy going on about it being a chicken feed issue. So I dug into the chicken feed issue, come to find out Producer's Pride and Do More Feed from Tractor Supply are both manufactured by Purina, which is owned by Lands of Lakes, which is in a joint venture with the largest egg producer in the United States. I'm sure you're asking yourself.
The eggs are no good. The eggs are no good. Here, let's hear it from her directly. Stop feeding Purina. Stop feeding Nestle.
All right, part 4. Y'all, I'm so sorry that this is drawn out so much, but there's just so much information. And I think I've only hit the tip of the iceberg. So I went to CalMain's website and I looked for their financial records. 2022 financial report on Form 10K. Now, before we go into that report, I want you guys to ask yourselves, when did your chickens stop laying? For me, it was around September. They started diminishing in their egg production. And then by November, I wasn't getting anything at all. So let's just see what does that have to do with anything, Keely? Well, on page 4 of their financial report, it reads, in fiscal year 2021, we announced that our board of directors approved several new capital projects with an estimated cost of $105 million to further expand the company's cage-free production capabilities. These projects include expanding our cage-free egg production at our Okeechobee, Florida production facility. The project is designed to include the construction of 2 cage-free layer houses and 1 cage-free pellet house with capacity of approximately 400,000 cage-free hens and 210,000 pullets, respectively. Construction is well underway, with the first pullets placed in mid-May 2022. The first layer house to be finished by when? Oh, September 2022, when all of our chickens stopped laying. And when is the second?
So what she's saying here is that there was a coordinated effort to stop everybody else's eggs or hens laying, but theirs. That Okeechobee plant, I have actually been to that Okeechobee plant. It is freaking huge.
Second layer house supposed to be done? Oh yeah, January 2023. And then in Delta, Utah, we are constructing 4 new cage-free layer houses and 2 pullet house conversions with capacity for approximately 810,000 cage-free layer hens.
So what they're doing here is they're saying that Purina has a feed issue, and that they are going to squelch. They're going to squelch the control by saying our hens are laying, yours are not, right? Land O'Lakes fresh eggs. I bought Land O'Lakes fresh eggs before. I've eaten these eggs. Look at all these different eggs. You got brown eggs, you got your organic eggs, you got cage-free eggs. Has Land O'Lakes had any issue? I don't know. Does the Okeechobee plant, has there been a fire? So Okeechobee, Florida egg production. This is all the places here in Florida. We've got cage-free. We've got Okeechobee County, Florida. The total farm production expense is 220 million acres, or 100,000 or more. Look, this is what she's saying here is that we are forcing a production layer issue so that they can corner a market. They can take everybody else's production out. We don't have to burn them all down, even though they did. There's a bunch of food processing facilities that have gone away. This is another way to corner a market.
With it expected, which is expected to be completed by fall of 2023. They're converting existing facilities into 9 cage-free layer houses and 2 pullet houses with a capacity of 953,000 cage-free hens. That's expected to be completed in spring of 2025. Not to mention all of the other egg producers that they've gone into joint ventures with. That timing seems awfully freaking suspicious to me. Don't it to y'all? I mean, they finished construction of one of their largest facilities in September 2022, and they entered into a joint venture with our feed provider. My advice, do not purchase anything manufactured by Purina.
Okay, so that means don't purchase anything manufactured by Purina. Nothing. Well, hold on. Purina's not just Purina, it's Nestle. And Nestle's got all these brands that we're feeding ourselves. This is for us. So if they're going to do this to the cattle, they just treat us like cattle, right? Oh, Carnation, this is powdered milk. DiGiorno, this is all the pizzas. I got dogs, I got cats, I got us, I got useless eaters. Gerber, all the baby food.
Disgusting.
Okay.
I mean,
so let's talk about this. Let's keep going. Yeah, it is disgusting. You know, I didn't want to do this show. I hate doing these shows. It's just freaking fear porn. This is not fear porn. This is journalism. You gotta wake up and say, wake up and smell the coffee with your $8 a dozen eggs. Here, let's keep going.
Problem. It's a weapon used by the USDA to come in and shut down and slaughter. They have slaughtered tens of millions of egg-laying chickens in the United States deliberately. And I think that is...
Oh, why did they do that deliberately? They did that because they are changing the way that production gets made. So there's this over here. Candace, let's get Candace finish this.
So how does this all tie together, right? How does this all tie together? Well, in case it's not just staring you straight in the face, the largest producer of eggs in the United States is in a joint venture with Purina, essentially.
So there you have it. That you would think would be a conflict of interest.
Yeah, a conflict of interest. A conflict of interest? Are you kidding me?
Versions with capacity for approximately 810,000 cage-free layer hens.
They're getting close to 1 million hens. This is all going to be done. So we're all just right about now. Isn't that a little coincidence? A little coincidence that this tyranny, these millions of chickens that are getting slaughtered, how do you corner a market? You have supply and demand, right? Well, the demand goes up, the supply gets squelched. That means it's a great profit-taking set. And you know they don't have any problem taking profit out of us, literally out of us.
They're using the PCR test on 1 or 2 birds in the flock and saying, oh, you have a positive PCR test, you have avian flu, we're shutting you down, and you have to kill all your chickens. Thousands and thousands and thousands of them, tens of millions. So that in itself is evil, and I just weep for the loss of life. I mean, these beautiful creatures should not be just slaughtered on a political agenda. And they're not using a real...
So the PCR test, so they're going to come and give so I'm a chicken guy, right? Let's play devil's advocate here. Cluck, cluck. That PCR test is what they're using. The PCR test is a whole other rabbit hole. I want to make something confused. I start giving it different names, and the PCR tests don't work. If you don't, go to your own research. This is easy to find. That was on regular Google. I just did that search and put it up. Actually coming out. So look, this is the way it works. Tyranny, control, management of us.
Reliable test. So that's point number 1. Point number 2, they are deliberately depriving Americans of a healthy food and driving up the prices, all of which is designed to control the economy. And they are also using that as a way of controlling access to food.
Yeah, controlling access to food. The food I can get, Haagen-Dazs. This is so depressing. Kit Kat. I don't eat cereal anymore. Not a long time. Nature's Bounty. Those are I used to eat on the golf course all the time. Those little snacky things. A bunch of different coffees, some teas. So I mean, the Perrier water. I love Perrier water. Used to. I'm not drinking it anymore. Pellegrino. There's another one. Damn it. Starbucks coffee at home. Oh, I took Starbucks home. I'm saving money. So this is what they're doing to the chicken. The chickens that eat the Purina food get this back here.
$105 million to further expand the company's cage-free.
Oh no, wait, that's them filling the need.
When did your chickens stop
Oh
laying?
wait, they stopped laying at the end of last year, all the way through the front part of this year.
By cutting off the farmers. But the other thing that's very interesting is that the egg yolk antibodies have potential application in protective effects against the spike protein of the SARS-CoV-2 virus and the COVID shot. And in the article published in the International Journal of Immunopharmacology in January 2021, they are talking about the use of egg. This is a Chinese group publishing it. Isn't that interesting? And they are talking about the use of egg yolk antibodies as a neutralizing agent against the SARS-CoV-2 virus and the spike, specifically the spike protein.
So it all comes back around, right? Comes back to the gates of hell.
Gives him control over the ability to dictate, and everybody, this is not controversial. People, there have been many interviews with people in that agency that say, yeah, he's dictating our policies. He's taken us away from sustainable agriculture, from localized agriculture, and from economic.
Sustainable local agriculture. What has happened to sustainable local agriculture?
Actually, she discovers that it's just one main one, and it's Purina. Purina is the main owner of the chicken feed.
Oh, the chicken feed that has stopped my hens laying.
For me, it was around September. They started diminishing in their egg production.
Yeah, because they were eating Purina food. What are you eating? What are you eating? Stouffer's Toll House cookies, you bastards! Can't even eat a freaking chocolate chip cookie.
Now, if you go back, it turns out that the first report of egg yolk antibodies as a neutralizing agent against tetanus toxoid was published in 1893. And then in 1959 was when we really began seeing more widespread clinical application.
Yeah, so eggs are good for you. Eggs are good for you. So, of course, we can't have any of those. Let's listen to RFK Jr. here and a little bit more about this tyranny.
Economic development, and from food and water and hygiene and sanitation and all those other areas, and put us disproportionately toward one solution, which is vaccines, and particularly his polio vaccine, which I think now, I could be wrong about this, but I've heard that it's almost 50% of WHO's budget. Oh, and again,
50% of the World Health Organization's budget is based on this. Well, the egg is starting to crack, so to speak.
Start to become a contagion for Pfizer. And I really think that we're starting to see a change. I think we're starting to see, in fact, now you're starting to see some mainstream media outlets even begin to cover this question about Pfizer. But here is what's going on in Thailand right now. So do you remember a few weeks ago when the princess of Thailand suddenly collapsed just days after receiving her booster shot? Now, we covered this in the newsletter. We didn't get a chance to cover it here on the show, I think because it was during the holiday time and we were off at the time. Anyway, she's still in a coma to this day. Okay, this happened about 3 weeks ago. Well, now we're learning that the Thai royal family has been told that her collapse had nothing to do with a bacterial infection.
Nothing to do. It has nothing to do with anything. It's not like, I don't know, maybe they're doing something on purpose.
Guys, to ask yourselves, when did your chickens stop laying?
I don't know. When did your chicken stop laying? When did this actually start happening, right? Well, hold on. Wait, let's just get through the right crisis. I don't know if I'm on the right crisis or not. You know, it's hard for me to keep up with which piece of fear I'm supposed to be afraid of. Are you keeping notes, Brandy?
Sure.
I don't know. Okay, I'm not. I'm gonna wipe my ass with that piece of paper. I'm not afraid of anything. Nothing. Okay, we got to live in a no fear environment. We're not born of a spirit of timidity. Yeah, look at that face. Yeah, people are waking up. Maybe.
They'd have to take an introspective look on that one, wouldn't they?
Right. Oh, you mean all those drone
don't wanna
strikes that
bring
the
that
United
up
States
too.
carries out? Yeah, is that considered
exactly.
terrorism, or is that one guy who who whatever? Yeah, we can go down that rabbit hole, but you get our point. So here's one other interesting tidbit. Well, because I do believe the West is the largest group of terrorists in the world, and the amount of civilians killed as a result of what they've done in these proxy wars for the last 30, 40 years is evidence of that. And you take my word for it, just look it up. So they show us in these places which failed to stabilize prices and cost of living over the last 2 years. In 2021, it was Eastern countries that seemed to have low stability, mainly Russia, they said in this report. So look at the dark red of Russia, right? The failure to stabilize price trajectories in 2021. Yet in 2022, the countries that went along with Western sanctions suffered the worst. Watch this chart flip, guys. Okay, here's 2021, there's 2022. Okay, can you go back to 2021? Look, 2021, Russia's in red. 2022, the countries that go along with the sanctions suffer.
Now look, sanctions, money, dollars. It can't be this guy's fault.
Well, the Gates Foundation has partnered with DFID on a great number of things, and among those are work we do together on livestock, helping animals survive either by having vaccines or better genetics, helping them be more productive. It's making a big difference. I was down in Ethiopia seeing how chickens are out there laying more eggs, getting more nutrition, and even some small savings into the households.
If this guy says it, what's the truth?
The opposite.
I was down in Ethiopia seeing how chickens are out there laying more eggs,
Yeah, look at that grin.
getting more nutrition, and even some small savings.
Yeah, some small savings in the household. While Bill Gates makes $1 million, puts five million into it, and makes $550 million back. This is the way that they're tyrannizing us, because the real truth is here.
For me, it was around September. They started diminishing in their egg production. And then by November, I wasn't getting anything at all. So let's just see what does that have to do with anything, Keely? Well, on page 4 of their financial report, it reads, in fiscal year 2021, we announced that our board of directors approved several new capital projects with an estimated cost of $105 million to further expand the company's cage-free production capabilities. These projects include expanding our cage-free egg production at our Okeechobee, Florida production facility. The project is designed to include the construction of 2 cage-free layer houses and 1 cage-free pellet house, with capacity of approximately 400,000 cage-free hens and 210,000 pullets, respectively. Construction is well underway, with the first pullets placed in mid-May 2022. The first layer house to be finished by when? Oh, September 2022.
September 2022. September 2022. So if I look at the egg prices, during this time, right? My egg prices have gone through the roof. Through the roof, baby.
The news with crafted storytelling that connects you to our communities, keeps you informed, and helps you stay prepared with Colorado's most experienced weather team. Each night, we bring you the news you need. We do it all.
Ours is 30 minutes long at Billy's Egg Farm in Southern California. I appreciate you waiting. And workers are scrambling to meet demand.
We pack eggs in here 8 to 4 o'clock nonstop.
He sells 25,000 fresh eggs a day for $5 a dozen.
That's a pretty good bargain right now. Grocery stores are $7 to $9 a dozen.
That's if you can find them. This.
I can't figure out where the audio is coming from. There's the media screwed up, but they're saying that eggs are $8. I mean, I bought eggs day for yesterday. 3 days ago, they were $8 a dozen, not $1.50. $1.50 to $3 is a doubling. $1.50 to $4.50 is a tripling. $1.50 to $6 is a quadrupling. $1.50 to $7.50, you're up into 6 or 7 times the price, and it's because of this. These guys are ready. They're going to capitalize 6 times, and they're going industrially. They have no competition. They could. It's called market cornering. This is how it works.
And all of our chickens stopped laying. And when is the second layer house supposed to be done? Oh yeah, January 2023. And then in Delta, Utah, we are constructing 4 new cage-free layer houses and 2 pullet house conversions with capacity for approximately 810,000 cage-free layer ends, which is expected to be completed by fall of 2023. They're converting existing facilities into 9 cage-free layer houses and 2 pullet houses with a capacity of 953,000 cage-free hens. That's expected to be completed in spring of 2025.
So their plan goes all the way into 2025. They're expecting that people are going to keep using this Purina product. Purina Pet Care, formed in December of 2001, Nestle acquired Ralston Purina for $10.3 billion and merged it with Nestle's pet food business. I wonder if they consider Starbucks to be part of their pet food business.
I wouldn't put it past them.
That is us. That is us.
They're all feeding. She goes down and she decides to switch up the feed. She talks to somebody locally who switches the feed, and immediately the chicken begins to start laying eggs again after they were no longer given Purina feed and were instead given some local chicken feed.
So I wonder if everybody just quit buying everything Purina and everything Nestle. I wonder how many people would just feel better.
That could be a lot of people.
I don't know. I think it's worth a shot.
My cat eats Purina. Now you got to make me go buy some more cat food.
Did you know that cats and dogs ate table scraps forever? You know, that's the reason that a lot of the small dogs were mousers. They would get rodents out of the sewer, the pipes and stuff. They'd go down a pipe after them out. They were mousers. They were rodent killers. So they were part of the food chain and everything else. So this doesn't happen anymore. We've domesticated everything. We've domesticated our animals. We have been domesticated. Domesticated. Listen to RFK Jr. finish describing it.
People should check me on that, because I'm not, that's something that I read, but I'm not sure of the source or anything else. But I know it's a large part. And we know the polio vaccine is very, very problematic. In fact, WHO acknowledges that 70% of the polio cases this year were caused by Gates' vaccine, not by wild polio.
I guess the argument against that is they know with a vaccine, some small percentage of people will have the illness, but still in aggregate, it's protecting far more people than who would get the disease otherwise.
I know that they could say that.
Yeah.
But the evidence is that there was no polio in the Congo. There was no polio really in Africa. And the only polio
vaccine is taken by everybody. It's a very old vaccine, but yet what RFK is going to say here is there is no polio. That doesn't exist.
You're 30 minutes in. You ready
know.
for your commercial?
Oh, well, I'm about to wrap up, so I'll do a commercial right now.
Okay.
Look, it's all about health, right? And our sponsor, Anti-Aging Bed, is if you hit the link in the bottom, you'll get taken to this site right here. This is really about sleeping your way to better health. We don't live in a grounded environment anymore. It's very hard to be grounded. Before we started wearing rubber-soled shoes and driving rubber-tired cars and living in houses that are separated by a moisture barrier, which is a non-grounding barrier, it's very hard to find a way to get grounded. Well, this is the way you can get grounded. The anti-aging bed has got a whole bunch of different products here. Let's just pick one. Let's pick something short. Get it done with. How about here we go. Let's hear a testimonial.
My name is Peter Koenig. I wanted to get the experience of the wellness center, to get checked out with my feet, which are always swollen. I've also angina, and to see what can be done about it. And that's mainly the reason why I'm here. I had no idea what it would be before. Absolutely, this is brand new for me. It is probably pretty much new. I think it's something that at least hasn't been around very long. I didn't know about it. So for me, it's a brand new experience, an excellent experience. I was really surprised, especially on how fast the reaction was on my feet, on my swollen feet. And so I can only say it was an excellent experience. Well, I don't know the product, so I really couldn't say anything. But obviously, what was used was effective, and the massage was very effective. I think that was probably at least a big part of it. And the whole experience, also the bed, was very good. I didn't feel much of the vibration, but ever so often I put my hand down, I noticed that there is energy going through my body. Absolutely gorgeous. Outstanding, really. I couldn't say anything better than that. It's fantastic. Very people-minded, friendly, informative. I'm absolutely impressed. And I would recommend it to anybody.
So there's a product back here in the back. That thing that looks like a mosquito net. That's actually a Faraday cage. It's a very cool product. I wish I had one. But anyway, that's our sponsor. Please go take. You'll see the page as you get here. There's all sorts of stuff. Lots of information. They're our sponsor for a reason. The cover, I've been sleeping on the cover for quite some time, and boy, what a difference it makes in my life. So if we're looking at health, one of the things we can probably do is stop eating a bunch of this crap. If it makes the hens stop laying, and they have cornered that market, then I wonder what they're doing to us, because I don't trust them.
Causing us to have all kinds of problems.
Yeah,
so they can make money on all the hospital transplants and you name it.
You name it. It's the whole thing, right? It's everything from end to end. They want to keep us just healthy enough so that they can fill us with fear. Well, I say no more, not today. Got any closing thoughts?
Christ first.
Christ first?
That's right.
That's right. That's right. All that.
It's time to start producing our own food in our backyard.
I agree with the studio audience. It's time to start producing food in our own backyards, in our own place. We really don't need to eat as much as we've been eating. That's intermittent fasting. Maybe that's the next show we do today. But either way, say goodnight, Gracie. Move to the next one.
Good night, Gandalph.
Appreciate you, everyone, at the sound of my voice. If you don't tell yourself you're fantastic, nobody else is going to do it. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.